Hey, how's it going? I just want to come with a quick video on corporations. I just want to talk about this general vibration that's out there, in the world that, having a job gives you some kind of, position, validates you, us, gives us a sense of purpose and makes us, better than certain people maybe who don't have jobs. And we all have a tendency to think this way, but I just throw this out there as what I feel is the proper way to think is that we have to. I feel in these days we have to really plead daily with God that that to work like this is unsustainable because we're working for our enemy, and they're essentially viewing us as very replaceable, almost like a burden to them, and very much like slaves, I know that we have to do this kind of thing, especially if people are taking care of others, and I kind of think of it as we're stealing from the rich to give to the quote unquote poor, which is like us. The Bible even talks about only having rich and poor in the end times. I'm very aware of that, and I get that, and I don't want to talk down to people who really have no choice, but I feel like we definitely have to plead to God, because that's essentially the way these like owners of these corporations and these higher up people view people below them, is like very much a burden, almost paying us is like painful for them. It's like, well, what did you really do to help me? And it's like, even if you did help and help quite a bit in that pay period, they'll still be like, oh, you could have did more, and then that's the sort of mindset. It's not every single employer or owner, but the vibration in the world, that's very much what it is. It's almost just like painful, for them to like give us scraps, and again, definitely for those who feel they're not contributing, but even those who are contributing, and want the company to grow and sustain and all that kind of stuff, making contributions. So that's the mindset, of the people who are in charge of the purse strings, so to speak, in the world, and at a micro level, our companies that we work for. So to me, this is like, we should be embarrassed to have a job, most jobs in this society. And, we should kind of carry ourselves that way, and like, to me, God definitely probably was using embarrassing situations and stuff to humble us. But to me, like, it doesn't have to go on forever. There has to be a limit to it. And I feel like it will shorten the more and more God's people complain, that we get it now, we understand, just don't disobey God. That's one of the main take-home lessons from all this. It's like this slavery, this corporate mental death, slow death that's happening, and it's not so slow for some people. It's just it's a lose-lose. It's like the people at the top, they're not really getting anything from this. It's not like they're getting creativity, getting growth, getting more profits, and all this kind of stuff. The whole environment is strictly just evil, and really no one's benefiting from it. And it's like, this is where, to me, this has to be created by God, because quite frankly, it's so stupid. It's like, it serves no other purpose, functional purpose on earth, except hopefully one of the many reasons would be to, exercise judgment on people for different amounts and different severity, and hopefully be like a training ground for something else, because this playing field makes absolutely no sense. So, definitely don't get puffed up because you have a job. I've had put up another video where I genuinely feel more quote unquote righteous or closer to God when I'm unemployed, when I'm not contributing to this beast system, and the 666 is all over these corporations. It's not really a mystery anymore. I've done videos on that if you want to check them out. It's not even really secretly encoded in any weird way. You got to take every fourth letter and convert it and multiply it by this and add 6 or whatever to get 666, and nothing like that. It's just out there. It's like blatantly obvious. The CERN logo is an obvious one, but Disney, Taco Bell. I mean, you don't have to look that hard. I know that some are a little bit of a stretch, but the 666 hand sign that Donald Trump does, that's 666. I mean, it's not just him. It's like they're all doing it. So it's it's not even hidden. So these corporations to me are the manifestation, the sort of enforcers of the 666 mindset, and it's just confusion. It's just soul-sucking confusion. Take as much creativity out of it, take as much personal freedom out of it, and enforce that. And it's a very much a plantation mindset, but more focused on our mind, and also physically being draining for some. So this is not something anybody should be proud of contributing to. We should be ashamed, that we have to do this. And to me, we just have to take it for what it is. It's a training ground for achieving humility and becoming humble like God, and God is already naturally humble, and He's created us with some amount of pride and ego, and then I feel one of the many reasons why we're here is to have that sucked out, and it's like a needle, it's not pleasant, but this is one thing we can help to do to kind of get things going, and usher in the kingdom from whatever power we have to do that, is to complain to God that this whole system is completely evil. And there should be, in my opinion, and I can see this with people who are non-religious, just not having energy to go to work. They just keep, they'll say, I just don't want to get out of bed. And how much more should people who understand good and evil and the way God is, He's a creator, He's creative, not want to be a part of this non-creative, destructive system? We should be weeping and wailing. I don't see enough of that online. I see a lot of bickering back and forth. Who has the truth? I got more truth. God loves me. God's going to kill all you people because, you said this about me and this and that. The very childish stuff. And we can't be involved in that either, because that's just more of what these corporations want, as a form of divide and conquer. And it's okay to be divided, but it's like, we don't have to be childish about it, and all that kind of stuff. It's like, the more we I feel we just recognize this environment for what it is, God doesn't have to press it or use it anymore. It's accomplished its purpose, and we can move on, from this type of mental slavery.